Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Today we will continue with our course Investment and Portfolio Management. The course code is MGT 531. Today's lecture is lecture number 25. And the reference for the study is the same as we have been doing in the last lectures. The study is by Christina. It was conducted in 2010 about the investment analysis and portfolio management. First of all, we will discuss the summary of the last lectures. In the last lecture, we did bonds classification, coupon payment, collateral, types of circulation, type of issuers, and quantitative analysis and the quantitative indicators. Therefore, we can say that you will have the required knowledge as far as these topics are concerned about the investment in portfolio for bonds. And what are the contents of today's lecture? The today's lecture comprises of different contents. The contents includes qualitative indicators, and we have groups of qualitative indicators: economic fundamentals, predominance of the firm, aggressive policy, and conservative policy. Continuing with the qualitative analysis, we will discuss the group of qualitative indicators or dimensions. That what are the important group of qualitative indicators which can indicate the situation in the prevailing in the bonds market, and how we can assess the economic performance of the bonds market. The first is economic fundamentals. What are economic fundamentals? They are basically the current economic climate minus overall economic and industry-wide factors which determine the economic fundamentals. And these are too much important in order to assess the overall economic situation prevailing in the economy, as well as in the industrial sector, as well as in the corporations and companies and firms. And when we segment, and also in the markets, when we segment our financial sector in different markets. For example, here it is for the bonds market. Then we have the market position. Market dominance and overall firm size indicates the market position, that whether this particular market is dominant or not, as far as its economic performance is concerned, and what is the overall size of the particular firm which is likely to invest in the bonds market, and which is likely to playing its role as far as the trade in bonds market is concerned. And the firm size should be larger, minus the stronger is its credit rating. We can say that market position can be determined from the size of the firm, and the size of the firm basically indicates its performance in the economic terms and its dominance in the market, and minus the level of the credit. And what is the credit rating for this particular firm which is performing role of trader in the bonds market. Management capability, quality of the firm's management team. What is the capability of the management? This is another important type of the qualitative indicator. All these basically indicate that what is the nature of these variables which are likely to indicate and which are likely to represent the economic performance of particular firm in the bonds market, or overall economic performance of the bonds market. And management capability, as far as it is concerned, we can say that it is very much important for indicating the strength and capability of the firm which is trader in the bonds market. And if it is quality management, then it definitely will play an important role to lead the firm to upward direction as far as the investment in the bonds market is concerned. Then we have bond market factors. The bonds market factors basically they indicate the term of maturity. What are these factors? They are the terms of maturity, that when the bonds become mature. Financial sector, what is the role of the bond in the financial sector, how much they are likely to improve the status of financial status of the investor. And the bond quality, what is the quality of the bond, how much it is likely to pay. As far as the quality is concerned, we can say that how much the bond is likely to pay to the investor, and at what time, and after what time it becomes mature, and at what rates it provides financial benefit to the individual. And what is the timing for the payment, whether these are the monthly payments as far as the interest rate are concerned, or there is another mode of payment with respect to the time. And then supply and demand for the credit. What is the supply of the credit? What is the demand for the credit? And we also know that credit, even if it is not a bonds market and we talk about any other market for the investment, and we can say that supply and demand for the credit is too much important, because that credit is the factor with the help of which it is possible for the investors to continue their investment and to fund their resources and fund their investments. And continuing with the discussion, we can say that what is the bond rating is another important indicator as far as the qualitative analysis of the bonds market is concerned, or what the bond rating indicates. It indicates the relationship between bond yield and bond quality. That what is the yield of the bond? It indicates the association and link between the bond's yield and the bond quality. What is the yield from the bond? And that is, we can say, what the in financial terms the investor can find from the investment in bonds, and what the investor can find as far as the satisfaction with respect to the investment in bonds or purchasing of bonds is concerned, and quality of the bond. And we know that the quality of bond means that how much the bond is facilitating the investor to appraise their financial and economic status, and to improve their economic status by the investment in the bonds, and whether they are likely to get a positive financial returns out of investment and borrowing, purchasing of these bonds or not, and the time of the yield, and the mode of payment, and the basically the style of payment, and what is the pattern of payment of these of the rate of interest on the purchase of the bonds, and the principal amount for particular bond. And this is the quality of the bond. And the quality also indicates the issuer company of the bond, that who is which company is the issuer of the bond. And if we find that the issuer are the corporations which are working in private sector, and they are newly entered, for example, in this particular market, and they do not have any systematic or strong background as far as the issuing of the bonds is concerned, so we can say that the investor or the buyer of the bonds, they may be reluctant to invest in the bonds and to purchase the bonds. Analysis is focused on the examining of business cycle, the macroeconomics of economic fundamental situation, and situation of particular sectors, industries in the country economics. Therefore, we can say that as far as the quality analysis is concerned, examining of the business cycle is very much important, and this indicates the economic fundamentals of the economy, that what is the fundamental economic situation of the economy. And definitely, as we discussed in the previous lectures, that what the business cycle indicates, as we discussed in our previous lectures, that business cycle is an important way to show the cyclical changes in the pattern of or in the economic situation of any market, and in the supply and demand for any item, for any good, for any stock, for any security or bonds also. And we have to analyze the fundamental economic situation of the economy, and with the help of which we can also, with the help of these cycles, we can also look at the fundamental economic situation of the bond market as well. And the business cycle or the cyclical changes in the trade in the bond market, they are helpful to guide the investors and the buyers of the bonds, that whether they have to bond, at what time they should purchase the bond, and at what time they should be careful about the purchase of the bond, rather they should sell the bonds. And in the last lecture, as when we did the classification of the bonds, and we discussed the types of the bonds, we also discussed the timings of investment, that at what time we should invest in our bonds, and at what time we should not invest in bonds, and we should avoid the investment, rather we should say. If we again we can say, and if we look at the cyclical changes in the bond in the business cycle as far as the trade in the bonds market, if we consider that this cycle is indicating the trade in the bonds market, we can say that what type of changes the cycle is indicating. We say that at first stage it is moving downward direction, it reaches the depression or minimum level, or which is known as lowest level. It indicates that it is basically at the minimum level of the trade or minimum point of the economic situation. is represented by this, then it revolves, and we can say that it recovers the situation. The cycle recovers, indicates the recovery in the situation. It may be known as optimizing situation also, and it is good for the it is a good indicator, positive type of indicator for the investor or the buyer. It reaches at maximum level, and when it reaches this is the peak point of this cycle, and definitely it indicates a highest return time and the prosperity in the market, and this is the best time which is indicated for the investors. After that, some factors emerges, and some factors emerges which may lead a downturn in the cycle. And if we again study the cycle, we can see that when it is in the downfall, so what we should do, what the investor should do when we find that the price is falling, whether we should buy or we should not buy. When price is falling, it is not better to buy it, to buy, either buy or sell. We should basically we should wait for some important point, for some stable point, and when we find that prices are at lowest point, it is the better to purchase the bonds, it is better to purchase any other stock or the securities, and this is the minimum point. At the point when the prices are at the level when the prices are falling, for example, if we look here at the level number A, along the level number A, it is not better even to buy or to either to buy or to sell the stocks, either to buy or sell the bonds, because if we look at this situation along the portion A, if we are the buy, if we have already bonds or securities and stocks with us and assets with us, and the price is falling, so it is not good to sell at the falling price, because we find it is quite possible, and it may happen that we have bought our stock or the assets at the relatively high prices, and this is the low rate of prices and falling prices. If we sell at this falling price, it may not be beneficial and profitable for the investor. Rather, we should wait later, and we can find that either it start rising and or it reaches the minimum level. So we can, it is better not to sell at this point, but to buy at this point, and this may be the region which is very much important and profitable to buy for the investor and to make the investments. If we purchase the assets at this point, and what is this point? For example, this is the B position of the business cycle. This is important to make the purchases, and along the B we should buy the bonds, we should buy all other assets, securities that in which we want to invest, and we have decided to make them as a part of our portfolio. And then we can see that when we start moving upward direction, in the positive direction, we can see that this indicate a positive turn, and this can be known as the C position. And this C position indicate a positive turn in the business cycle. We can say that the prices have started rising, and the prices जो है वो बढ़ना शुरू हो गई हैं, और जब ये बढ़ रही हैं तो definitely now after the positive turn in the business cycle, we should stop purchasing anymore, or because now the prices are rising or at risen price or before the proper rise in the price, we may buy and we may purchase. And when they reach the peak level, and at this point we should not also sell, we should wait for some time, so that the economic environment becomes more favorable as far as the prices of the assets are concerned, as far as the prices of the bonds are concerned. When they are at their peak level, it is better to make the sales. And at peak level, we can call this peak level can indicate by the point D. And this peak level indicates the prosperity in the economy. If it is about the business cycle is specific to any particular market, it may indicate the prosperity in that market, or if it is relevant to bonds market, so it may indicate the prosperity in the bonds market. And the peak time is basically important time to make the sale of the existing stock and assets, and bonds, and definitely will have a great profit out of this. We can see that what is the difference between the price of the bonds at when the price is at B, price of the bonds at the point B, and price of the bonds at the price D. So what is the difference between the two? We can find that the price of the bonds at the point D is greatly large and significantly large as compared to price of the bonds and the stocks and assets at the point D. This great difference basically leads to the profit of the investors, and the investor will be able to earn a lot of profit and will be able to earn a higher profit out of this situation. So this basically indicates the fundamental economic situation of the economy, fundamental economic situation of any market, any sector, and in this case the bonds market. The aim of the economic, basically all this discussion is concerned with the economic analysis, and the main aim of the economic analysis is to examine how the firm would be able to perform under the favorable and unfavorable condition. So why we do the analysis? What is the reason of doing any analysis? Basically the analysis help us to the point and make the things and concept clear to us. That economic analysis basically indicates that what are the favorable conditions for the investors and what are the unfavorable conditions for the investors. So we can say that favorable conditions, they indicate that now this is the time for the investment, and unfavorable conditions that this is not the time for investment. For example, we can say when we see that prices are falling continuously and they are indicating a downturn, then it is unfavorable condition. We should neither sell our assets, existing stock at those prices that if we sell, we say that we do not have any more profit or a significant level of profit, because if we have bought the assets and bonds at the high rates, and if we purchase the assets, so again it is not good, because the prices are falling, and we should wait for the point where they may stop falling anymore, and that will be the point which will definitely indicate a very worst situation in the economy, but that will be the time to purchase and to invest. That will be the sharp difference between the purchase price and the sale price, or the price which is prevailing at the minimum situation prevailing in the economy, and at the maximum or peak point prevailing in the economy. This is so because this is extremely important for the investor when he is attempting to evaluate his or her risk buying the bonds of the firm. And we can say why the economic analysis is important, why it indicates the comparison or describes the comparison between the favorable conditions and unfavorable conditions. Reason is that that is the investor, they want to assess and the element of risk with respect to their investment, or the risk with respect to purchasing of the bonds by any firm, by any investor. And if we look at the downturn in the business cycle, we can find where is the risk of buying the asset. For example, if the price is falling, this is the risky situation because the price is falling, and they should not decide to buy the bonds. However, we should wait that it reaches at some minimum level, and because after that the prices are, if we buy make payments over here at this point A, and the prices fall also afterwards, and if we make purchase at B, prices still falls afterwards, and so on. We can look at and can analyze different points along this curve. At minimum level, we can say that we should wait for some minimum point at which purchases should be made, and that will be the point which reduces the cost of purchasing of the bonds. And this is important point. And if we reaches at peak level, at this peak level, peak basically indicates the maximum price, and maximum price shows that this is the maximum benefit of the that we can earn, maximum profit that we can earn out of purchase of the bonds. So what we can say is that the price and the cost, they have a great difference, and this will be equal to the profit earned by the sale of the existing stock of bonds and existing stock of assets. Continuing with the discussion, we can say that market position is described by the firm's share in the market and by the size of the firm. And as we discussed in the a few minutes before, we can say that what is the position of the market? It basically it is the difference between the between the size of the firm and also the worth of the and the strength of the firm to credit. As far as the credit rating is concerned, so therefore we can say that the market position is described by the firm's share in the market and by the size of the market. That how much the firm is investing in the market, or what is the share of the market as far as the investment is concerned, how much the share it is, how much part of the market the particular firm is occupying, and this also indicates the size. So we can say these two things, the share of the market which is occupied by the firm is important, and also the size. This also determines the size of the market, that what is the size of the market, and definitely we can understand that size of the market determines the share of the firm in the market. Also the size of share of the firm in the market as well as size of the firm in the particular market, they are interrelated concepts, and they basically we can say they justify each other, and they explain the underlying ideas for each other. That if the more share of the market is occupied by the firm, we can say that the firm is having a large size and it is likely to produce more and more. The other conditions being equal, the firm which share in the market is larger and which is larger itself generally has credit rating higher. The predominance of the firm in the market shows the power of the firm to set the prices for its goods and services. So what is the therefore we can say that this situation and market position of a particular firm indicates its share and indicates its dominance in the market, and we can say that if the share of the firm is larger in the market, and we can say that credit rating will be higher. Definitely if the market share of any firm is larger, so it will have higher rate of credit, and it will indicate higher rate of credit. And predominance of the firm in the market shows the power of the firm to set the prices for the goods and services. And this in other words, we can say that this particular situation as far as the size of the firm is concerned in the market, share of the firm in the market is concerned, this indicates the power of the firm in the market, and we can say that how much is the influence of this particular firm on determining the equilibrium prices of purchase and sale of the market. And we can say that the size of the market can indicate its significance to affect and to influence the prices prevailing in the market. For example, we know that when the supply increases, and increase in the supply leads to reduce the price of the shares. प्राइस ऑफ द शेयर्स, प्राइस जो शेयर्स की है वो कम हो जाती है अगर सप्लाई जो होती है वो बढ़ जाती है. कन्वर्सली वी कैन से कि जब सप्लाई कम होती है तो प्राइस ऑफ शेयर जो है वो बढ़ जाती है क्योंकि सप्लाई शॉर्ट हो गई है. दिस इज वन टाइप ऑफ फैक्टर which shows the relationship between the supply of the share and supply of the bonds and supply of the assets and their respective prices. And second important thing is that with respect to the demand, when we talk that demand of the shares increases, जब इनकी डिमांड बढ़ती है तो प्राइसेस जो होती हैं वो बढ़ जाती हैं. People when they demand more, and definitely and consequently the prices will increase. और जब हम देखते हैं कि प्राइस डिमांड जो है वो कम हो गई है और पीपल आर नो मोर विलिंग टू परचेज दी एसेट्स, दे आर नो मोर विलिंग टू परचेज दी स्टॉक्स, तो प्राइसेस जो होती हैं वो कम हो जाती हैं. और इस सेंस में प्राइसेस जो होती हैं वो कम हो जाती हैं. इन दिस वे वी कैन से जो है मार्केट इन द मार्केट द प्राइसेस ऑफ फॉर द सेल एंड परचेज ऑफ द गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज दे आर इफेक्टेड. एंड व्हाई दे आर इफेक्टेड, हाउ they are affected with the help of sale and supply and demand of the asset. The reason is that for example, if we can say that the market is comprising of let's say 1000 units, अगर मार्केट जो उसमें 1000 यूनिट्स में उसकी ट्रेड होती है, 1000 यूनिट्स की ट्रेड होती है, और फर्म जो होती है फॉर एग्जांपल फर्म ए है, फर्म बी है, फर्म सी है. फर्म ए जो है उसके 10 यूनिट का शेयर है इसमें, और फर्म ए जो है उसका 10% का शेयर है, बी का जो है वो 15% का है, सी का जो है 6% का है, तो we can say that they are having very small contribution in determining the overall trade, in determining the overall volume of purchase and sale in the market. Rather, if we can say, we observe that the firm D जो है is having a significant percentage. For example, it has 90% shares of the market, या हम कह सकते हैं it has let's say 40% share of the market, and this shows that it has is occupying quite significant portion of the trade in the market. Therefore, we can say that the supply of the bonds or supply of the asset and demand for the asset by this particular firm is likely to influence the situation of the prices prevailing in the market. And when this happens, we can say that this particular firm has important and significant role to determine the situation in the market. Besides, the large firms are more effective because of effect of production sale, their costs are low. And another benefit of being the large, of having large size of the firm is the important aspect is that their cost of production is low, and reason is that when the firms and when industries they are having large plant size, when they are having the high scale of production, larger scale of production, cost of प्रोडक्शन जो होती है वो कम हो जाती है और इकोनॉमीज ऑफ स्केल जो होती हैं वो अमर्ज होती हैं और फर्म और इंडस्ट्रीज लाइकली टू अर्न मोर because it is likely to supply more. And for example, we can see that this is the long run average cost curve, and इस cost curve के along वो produce करती है. अगर उसका size बड़ा है तो definitely it can reap the minimum level of the cost also. The benefit of minimum cost level can be obtained by this. Economies of scale can emerge, or we have discussed in the previous classes that जो long run average cost curve है, what is it basically indicates the जो है purchase and sale. और जब हम बात करते हैं प्रोडक्शन की तो फॉर एग्जांपल वी कैन से दैट द लॉन्ग रन कॉस्ट कर्व जो होता है इट इज कंप्राइजिंग ऑफ ए नंबर ऑफ शॉर्ट रन कॉस्ट कर्व, जिनको हम शॉर्ट रन एवरेज कॉस्ट कर्व कहते हैं, और नंबर ऑफ शॉर्ट कर्व. फॉर एग्जांपल फर्म जो है उसने पहला शॉर्ट कर्व लगाया, स्मॉल स्केल प्लांट लगाया SAC1, सेकेंड स्मॉल स्केल प्लांट लगाया SAC2 एंड सो ऑन. और जब ये ऑलरेडी द फर्म इज इन दी इंडस्ट्री इज प्रोड्यूसिंग इन दी मार्केट एंड is playing its role, productive role in the market. So after a certain time period and after a certain level of production, we can find that the economies of scale they emerge, and the firm is likely to earn more and is likely to reap more benefits. And if it extends the scale of production, if it extends the scale of plant, so we can say that it is likely to reap the benefits and to have the fruits of the extended plant because of the economies of scale. क्योंकि बहुत सारी चीज़ें ऑलरेडी उस प्लांट में बन चुकी हैं. The product is aware, products of the firm is aware, or what the item firm is likely to sell is well known by the customers. And वहाँ पे communication का एक system बन चुका है, how to provide information to the investors or buyers वो भी एक बन चुका है. तो ये सारी जो facilities हैं, all these facilities and all these positive side benefits, they are likely to enhance the productivity of the firm. So we can say that what is the importance, what is the benefit of being of having larger share in the market is that on besides earning higher level of income due to due to having high share of the market, it is there are other benefits. For example, the firm जो है it can produce at smaller rate, and that is the cost will be at lower level, and the will be able to credit at large rate. It is easier for, similarly we can say, it is easier for such firms to overcome the periods of fall in the prices, and जब prices कम होती हैं और इसकी वजह से ड्यू टू ऑल दिस बेनिफिट्स इट इज़ पॉसिबल फॉर द फर्म के जब प्राइसेस जो होती हैं वो कम होती हैं तो उनको सस्टेन करने में अपना रोल प्ले करें, बिकॉज इट इज़ डोमिनेंट फर्म इन द market having and occupying larger share of the market and is in a position to produce at low and supply at lower cost and at minimum cost, then it can avoid and it can prevent the market from falling prices to a greater extent by basically by holding the supply and by creating the demand for its for the product. Continuing with the discussion, we can say that the smaller the firms, when the prices are increasing, they are performing well, but when the markets are slumping, they have the problems. If the firms are smaller in size, what happens? If the firms are smaller in size, that is, they do not have large enough size, तो prices जो हैं they will increase. Prices जो होती हैं जब बढ़ती हैं, तो it is a good position for the firm. Rather, when the prices जो है they are falling, so it is a sort of slump, and it is a sort of a downfall in the firm, downfall in the economic position of the firm. And again we can say that when the prices are at quite reasonable level, they are appropriate, they are increasing, we can say, when prices are increasing, and if the firm is of smaller size, the situation is beneficial for the smaller size firm. And if we can say that if the prices are deteriorating, they are at low level, we can say this is जो है harmful situation, and this is non-favorable situation for the smaller firm. So from here we can point out, we can highlight the difference between the larger firm and the smaller firm. That what is the difference between the larger firm and the smaller firm? Because the larger firm, they are occupying a greater share of the market, they are producing at low cost and supplying their product at the low cost. So they can even bear with the falling prices, and they can control the situation when the prices are falling, and can be helpful to stabilize the situation in the market. But the smaller firms, they are definitely concerned with their own survival, and their own profit is too much important for them, for their existence. Therefore, when the prices are rising, they show a better position, and they show a positive behavior, and when the prices are in slump or they are falling, they have the problems. Thus, it is important for the creditor to take it in mind. And we can say that who is the creditor of the funds, and who is the creditor of the resources, and whatever mean of supplying the resources or funds he is adopting, it is important for him that to be aware of the situation and to be familiar with the situation, that what is the economic situation and how it has been changing. Continuing with the discussion, we can say that management capability reflect the performance of the management team of the firm. So we can say that management is very much important. These are good managers who are likely to bring a positive turn in the economic performance of the particular firm, and economic discussion of the firm, and economic status of the firm. And rather the firms, those who are having a weak management and management is inactive or inefficient, definitely cost of production will be high and economic performance will be low, and it will lead to low economic status of the firm. Therefore, we can say that economic management capability is too much important, which indicate that how stronger is the administration of the particular firm and how efficient is the administration of the particular firm. It is often very difficult to assess the quality of the management team. So we cannot assess the quality of management team very often, but the result of this part of analysis is important for the attempting to evaluate the quality of debt instruments of the firm. And why the quality of the management is our administration is important, because administration is the one who is running the firm and is important to run the firm, and the efficiency of the management is important to have the efficient outcome of any trade or outcome of any purchase and sale. तो हम ये कह सकते हैं कि मैनेजर जो टीम्स है और एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव ब्लॉक जो है उसकी एफिशिएंसी किसी भी इंडस्ट्री और फर्म की ट्रेड सेल को एफिशिएंट करने के लिए, उसके आउटकम को एफिशिएंट रखने के लिए बहुत ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट होती है. फॉर एग्जांपल, एफिशिएंट मैनेजर्स जो टीम है लीड्स टू अपग्रेड द इकोनॉमिक स्टेटस of the firm. So efficient managers, they lead to higher इकोनॉमिक स्टेटस ऑफ द फर्म. इसकी वजह से इकोनॉमिक स्टेटस जो है वो फर्म का वो बढ़ जाता है, और अगर जो है मैनेजर जो होते हैं वो इनएफिशिएंट हो तो उसकी वजह से इकोनॉमिक स्टेटस जो होता है वो कम हो जाता है, और देर में बी डाउन टर्न इन द परफॉर्मेंस ऑफ द टीम, क्योंकि मैनेजर्स को हर चीज़ जो है वो मैनेज करनी पड़ती है. दे विल लुक एट द प्रोडक्शन फंक्शन, दे विल लुक एट द सप्लाई एंड परचेज ऑफ द इनपुट्स एंड अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ इनपुट्स, एंड दे विल लुक एट द मैटर्स ऑफ द इशू of matters of payment and about the transportation of the funds and other inputs, and they also look at the things and the items required to be purchased by the firm, and the required to be sold at proper time. And quality of the product is also concerned, and also the department of the management to take care of. But therefore we can say that if quality management is there, we have quality outcome and interaction of the different firms, and trade and purchase and sale. And if it is inefficient, so definitely reverse situation will occur, that efficient outcome will not be earned by the and will not be possible to be earned by the firm. The investor seeking to buy only high quality, that means the low risk bonds, more often are choosing only those firms managers of which follow the conservative policy of the borrowing. So we can say that high quality, the bonds having high quality and low risk, they are chosen by only the firms whose managers are conservative policy of the borrowing. And we can say that what the conservative policy is indicating here, conservative policy here is indicating here that the bond should be purchased by the firm which are having high returns, कि high returns के बॉन्ड जो हैं वो परचेज किए जाएं, और हाई क्वालिटी के बॉन्ड जो है वो परचेज किए जाएं. हाई क्वालिटी के बॉन्ड्स का मतलब ये होता है कि उनका जो रिस्क होता है वो लो, कि दे शुड हैव लो रिस्क ऑफ परचेजिंग ऑफ द बॉन्ड्स, और लो रिस्क का मतलब ये होता है लो रिटर्न्स, और जिन बॉन्ड्स का रिस्क कम होता है उनका रिटर्न्स भी लो होता है. और दिस टेल्स अस दैट दे आर वेरी कंजर्वेटिव, हैविंग कंजर्वेटिंग point of view as far as the trade is concerned for the bonds and in respect of bonds. And also we can say that in other words we can say that they are too much careful about the purchase of the bonds, and in terms of the revenues earned by the investment in the bonds, and they can think that if they are likely to minimize the risk, they are likely to earn high returns. So returns can be maximized, or the benefit of the firm can be maximized if the risk is low. So maximum benefit means कि low risk, और low risk का मतलब होता है कि firm is likely to have and is likely to invest and purchase the items which are likely to give more benefit to the firm. Continuing with the discussion, we see that contrary the risk-taking investors will search for the firms which management chooses the aggressive policy of borrowing and are running with the high financial power. And what is the aggressive policy? In contrast to conservative policy, we have aggressive policy of the borrowing. And what is this aggressive policy? That the firm should have such type of management which is not having any fear of risk and which is not afraid of incurring any risk, and it has strong financial status. And the firm which has strong financial status, even if it has to face any risk, will not be problematic and will be able to cope with the situation. So high economic status जो होता है, it is basically important to undertake further trade. और ये कैसे strong economic performance जो है वो और status कैसे indicate होता है कि firm जो है is not basically has such management which is not afraid of the aggressive policy, और वो financial और वो risk के assets जो होते हैं उनमें भी investment कर लेती है. तो risk के assets they may be preferred, and this will further increase the position of and further improve the position of economic position of the firm or the industry. In general, the majority of holders of the bonds first of all want to know how the firm manages control the cost. And इस सिचुएशन में majority of the bond holders they should know that firm manager जो होते हैं जिनको हम efficient manager कहते हैं वो cost को कैसे control करते हैं. तो efficiency basically indicates is the concept which leads to the optimization. From efficiency we can have the concept of optimization, और optimization जो है वो क्या indicate करती है, वो ये indicate करती है कि we should have the efficient managers and basically who can control the cost, and they are efficient, they are so efficient that they can control the cost. और वो cost को कैसे control करते हैं कि they try to have minimum cost. कॉस्ट जो होती है वो कम से कम हो जाती है, और when there is huge difference and when they sell the bonds, and definitely huge difference between the cost of the buying of the bonds and sale, and the price of sale of the bonds will be maintained, and it will create a definitely further stronger economic status, and it will make the firm powerful as far as the managers of the firm, they will become powerful and will be likely to have higher economic status. And what they are doing to control and to strengthen the balance sheet of the firm. For this purpose, the investor must analyze the balance sheet for the period of 3 to 5 years. So we can say that what the firm, how the firm can express the strength of the firm, and this with the help of the strength, or the power of the strength is with the help of which it can show the balance sheet of the firm. That firm can analyze the economic situation, the trade and purchase and sale of the purchase and sale for particular time period of 3 to 5 years, and in the light of that, firm can take the decision as far as investment is concerned, and to examine the tendency in changes of balance sheet main elements, and what also the firm will do, and firm must, and besides analyzing the balance sheet for the period of 3 to 5 years, firm should also examine the tendencies in the changes of balance sheet main element. Balance sheet के main elements हैं कि what are the changes in the elements of balance sheet, and in the major elements, major ingredients of the balance sheet, and definitely if there are fluctuations in the major ingredients of the balance sheet, and it will lead to bring fluctuations in the balance sheet elements overall, and as far as the aggregate returns and trade is concerned. And continuing with the discussion, we find that the bond market factors have different conditions and different items. For example, what are these factors? These are the term of maturity, that when the bond become mature, financial sector performance, and bond quality, what is the quality of the bond, and what is the supply of the bond and demand for the, what is the supply and demand for the credit, और credit की और की supply और demand क्या है. तो these are the important bonds market factors which are likely to influence the performance of the bonds market, and which are likely to influence the economic situation determined in the market for the bonds as far as its investments are concerned. The investor must understand which factor and conditions have the influence on the yield and prices of the bonds. So we can say that as with the help of this discussion in the bonds market, it is appropriate for the firm to understand that which factors and conditions they are likely to have effect on the yield of the prices of bonds. That is, which factor can affect the yield and the prices. So what do we mean by the yield? Yield basically tells us the overall or aggregate performance of the firm and aggregate outcome of the firm, कि aggregate outcome from the investment in the firm जो है वो क्या है, और outcome कैसे determine होता है, with the help of the prices and with the help of the returns out of the investment in the bonds. तो therefore investor जो है उसको उन conditions को और उन अवामिल के ऊपर नज़र रखना चाहिए जो कि bonds की yield को और उनके outcome को affect करते हैं, उनकी prices को affect करते हैं. The main factors to be mentioned here are term to maturity. और इन factors में कौन कौन से important factors हैं? इनमें first important factor is term to maturity है कि किन terms के ऊपर जो होती है वो इसमें maturity आती है. Generally term to maturity and the interest rate of the bond are directly related. That is, we can say that term to maturity and rate of interest of the yield of the bond, they are directly related, and thus the bonds with this longer term to maturity have the higher yield than the bonds with shorter term to maturity. अच्छा, इस slide पे last point जो है वो ये indicate करता है कि अगर longer term bonds हों and the bonds which matures after a long time period which takes a significant time period to mature in order to make the payments to the investors, we can say these bonds are better as compared to the bonds which have the shorter terms to maturity. और जिनकी maturity की का time period जो होता है वो कम होता है, they are not so good as compared to those bonds which are having longer terms to maturity. And the sector in the economy which is the issuer of the bonds represents, and we can say that the sectors which is known as and which can be indicated as the issuing of the the bonds indicate that the yield of the bonds vary in various sectors of the economy. कि जो bonds की yield है, which we can say is important to determine the with respect to the size of the investment of the firm, कि whether ये larger investment है या larger size firm है या smaller size firm है, the yield of the firm is very much important in this respect and to determine various firms in the various sectors of the economy and to determine the economic behavior of the firms. For example, generally the bonds issued by the utility sectors and utility sector firms, they generate a higher yield to the investor than the bonds in any other sector or government process. And which type of bonds they are much more beneficial for the investors? They are utility sector firms generate. And that is, we can say that the bonds which are issued by the utility sectors, they give higher yield to the investor and bonds in any other sector of the government. So these are basically more profit giving to the firm and to the bond keeper as compared to any other supplier or issuing of the bonds. Then we discuss the quality of the bonds. As far as the quality is concerned, higher the quality of the bonds, the lower is the yield. And for the bonds with low quality, the yield is higher. We can say that the quality of the bond and yield, they move in opposite direction. Higher the quality of bond, lower is the yield, and lower the quality of the bond, higher is the yield. So we can say they move in the quality of the bond and the yield of the bond, they move in opposite direction. तो क्वालिटी ऑफ बॉन्ड के बॉन्ड की क्वालिटी क्या है, ये ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शन में जाती है, और प्राइस एंड द प्राइस एंड यील्ड ऑफ द बॉन्ड जो है वो ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शन में जाती है, और दे मूव जो है इन ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शन. अगर यील्ड ज़्यादा होगी तो क्वालिटी कम होगी, अगर क्वालिटी ज़्यादा होगी तो यील्ड जो है वो कम होगी. Continuing with the discussion, we have level of inflation. The inflation decreases the purchasing power of the future income. So we can say what the inflation means is it is basically the growth rate of the prices of the different items, and when the level of the inflation rate increases, so we can say that the purchasing power of the assets of the individual investors or group of investors falls. And since the investors do not want to decrease their yields generated from the bonds cash flows, they require the premium to the interest rate to compensate their explode related with the growing inflation. So we can say that they do not have the rate of interest to compensate for the changes, and rather it is related with the growing inflation. And the yield of the bond increases or decreases with the changes in the level of inflation, because we can say that the level of inflation is important to determine the real rate of return or real rate of interest on the bonds or stocks hold. For example, R is the real rate of return, R, and I is the nominal rate of return or nominal rate of interest minus the level of inflation. कि inflation जो है वो कितना है, and how much is the inflation, how much it is growing, and it determines the level of the determine the yield of the bonds. And yield of the bonds जो है वो increase करती है fluctuations in the interest rate के साथ. And for example we say that कि अगर inflation जो है वो ज़्यादा हो जाता है तो definitely yield of the bond जो होती है वो कम हो जाती है. R जो है वो कम हो जाता है, अगर ये कम होता है तो R जो है वो ज़्यादा हो जाता है. The supply and demand for the credit, that what is the supply of the credit, what is the demand for the credit. And definitely we know that credit is the important item which is likely to affect this, and which is likely to have proper and significant effect on the financial market and on the resources funded in the financial market, or we can say that it is something on which the markets and the trade is likely to depend. And the interest rate on the price of borrowing money in the market depends on the supply and demand in the credit market. So we can say that what is basically interest rate is the price of the borrowed money, and we have the supply of the money and we have the demand for the money. And definitely quantity supplied and quantity demanded of the money is likely to determine the magnitude of the trade in terms of the credit taking place in the credit market. So and what is the supply and what is the demand? एंड जो है इंटरेस्ट रेट, वी हैव टू टाइप्स ऑफ इंटरेस्ट रेट. व्हाट इज दी, वन इज नॉमिनल रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट एंड सेकंड वन जो है वो आर इज इंडिकेटेड बाय आर विच इज रियल रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट. नॉमिनल जो है ये नॉमिनल होता है इन मॉनेटरी टर्म्स और जो रियल है इट इज एडजस्टेड फॉर द इन्फ्लेशन. इसको प्राइस ग्रोथ के साथ या इन्फ्लेशन के साथ एडजस्ट करते हैं. एंड वी कैन से दैट आर इज इक्वल टू आई माइनस pi, where pi is inflation and r is the real rate of return, I is the nominal rate of interest. We have the quantity demanded and quantity supplied of the credit. Credit के दो quantity demanded और supplied, these are two important forces. Demanded ये indicate करती है volume of the credit which is being demanded in the market, और supply indicate करती है volume of this being supplied in the market. So what it tells us that we have the market which is relevant to the credit market are known as credit market, and this is the quantity supply of the credit, and downward sloping curve indicates the quantity demanded of the credit. And what are I and R? These are basically prices of the borrowed money. ये borrowed money की price को indicate करते हैं because they indicate that how much borrowing of money is expensive or it is cheaper, and the price is determined at this point. Price of the credit is determined at this point. It can be indicated by I if it is not adjusted for inflation, and by R if it is adjusted. This is the demand is equal to supply in equilibrium for the credit. अगर सप्लाई बढ़ती है तो सप्लाई कर्व जो होता है वो राइटवर्ड शिफ्ट हो जाता है. सप्लाई ऑफ क्रेडिट जब बढ़ जाती है तो सप्लाई कर्व जो होता है वो राइटवर्ड शिफ्ट इसमें आ जाती है. तो राइट जब ये शिफ्ट होता है इसकी वजह से आई जो होता है वो कम हो जाता है, रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट जो है वो कम हो जाता है, और वी कैन से कि इट बिकम्स चीपर. और जब डिमांड इसकी बढ़ती है क्रेडिट की तो वी कैन से कि ये लेफ्ट की तरफ शिफ्ट होता है, और लेफ्ट वर्ड शिफ्ट होती है ये शो करती है कि इसकी प्राइस जो होती है वो बढ़ जाती है, आई जो है वो बढ़ जाता है. तो इन दिस वे वी कैन से दैट द फ्लक्चुएशंस इन द क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड एंड सप्लाई ऑफ द क्रेडिट and the volume of the credit, they are likely to affect the prices of the money to be borrowed and to be lent in the credit market. When the economy is growing, the demand for the funds is increasing too, and the interest rate generally are growing. So what happens? The second point is relevant with the first point कि जब भी इकोनॉमी जो है वो ग्रो कर रही होती है, जब इकोनॉमी प्रॉस्पेरिटी को शो कर रही होती है, जब बिजनेस वी आर मूविंग अलोंग दिस सेक्शन ऑफ द बिजनेस साइकिल जिसको हम ए से इंडिकेट करते हैं, और दिस शो दैट इकोनॉमी इज ग्रोइंग एंड इज लाइकली टू ओवरकम इट्स वीकनेसेस. इसके साथ जो है अलोंग दिस पोर्शन जिसको हमने ए कहा है, डिमांड जो होती है वो फंड्स की बढ़ जाती है, हर चीज़ की डिमांड बढ़ जाती है, डिमांड फॉर गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज बढ़ जाती है, बिकॉज हियर वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द क्रेडिट मार्केट, दैट इज व्हाई वी कैन से दैट डिमांड फॉर फंड्स जो है वो इंक्रीज कर जाती है. और बिकॉज वी वांट द फंड्स, वी नीड द फंड्स टू इन्वेस्ट समवेयर एंड टू अर्न समथिंग आउट ऑफ इट, और इसकी वजह से जो है हम क्या करते हैं, ये दिस इज द डिमांड कर्व, डिमांड जो है वो कर्व राइट की तरफ शिफ्ट हो जाता है. सप्लाई कर्व हमारी यहाँ पे है, इनिशियल रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट आई नॉट से इंडिकेट करते हैं वो यहाँ पे E1 के ऊपर, और जब हमारा डिमांड बढ़ता है और इट बिकम्स D1 तो वी आर एट हायर इक्विलिब्रियम पॉइंट और इट इज इंडिकेटेड बाय I1. ये I1 से इंडिकेट होता है, इसको हम E2 कहेंगे, और वी कैन से दैट वी मूव फ्रॉम E1 नॉट टू E1, हम E नॉट से E1 पे चले जाते हैं, और दिस टेल्स अस दैट रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट जो है वो इंक्रीज करके. Contrary, when the demand for the credit is low in the period of economic crisis, the interest rates are very low. तो जब इसकी डिमांड जो होती है, और this is the prosperity time, indicating the economic upturn and prosperity in the economy, and however this another situation indicates the downfall in the economy, and what this downfall is, this shows that demand जो है वो economic, this downfall can be indicated by economic crisis, और इसकी वजह ये होती है कि जब डिमांड लो हो जाती है, डिमांड जब लो होती है, पैसे कम होते हैं, और जो है और we do not have money to spend and we do not have the resources to finance our demand, तो डिमांड कम होती है तो रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट जो है वो कम हो जाता है, क्योंकि प्रोडक्टिविटी कम हो रही है, इन्वेस्टमेंट जो है वो कम हो जाती है. डिमांड कम क्यों होती है? वाई द डिमांड इज लो, इसके लो होने की क्या रीज़न है? वाई इट इज़ लो? It is low because we do not have the prosperity. We have depression in our economy. We do not have production in our economy, or resources cannot be distributed among the economy, and we do not demand because the investment conditions they are not favorable. Therefore investors will less likely to take the credit, और उनकी credit की demand जो है वो कम हो जाती है. Rate of interest जो है as a result ये fall करता है और इसमें इतनी कोई change नहीं आती. Bond rating, the rating of the bond, some of the majority of the factors which were examined above. तो bond rating इन सब factors की के summation को, horizontal summation को indicate करता है. A bond rating is the grade given to the bonds that indicate their credit quality. तो what is the bond rating? It is basically a status. It is a level. It is a grade which is assigned to the bonds that indicate the quality of the credit. That what is the quality of the credit that we are likely to acquire or we are likely to obtain. According to Moody and Fitch, they provide these evaluations of a bond and the issuer's financial strength, that what is the financial status and what is the financial significance of the issuers of the bonds according to Moody and Fitch study. It is the ability to pay a bond's principal and interest in a timely fashion. So we can say that the strength of the bond, basically strength of any financial status of the any issuing agency can determine and can evaluate the quality of the bond. And also we can say that it is the ability to make the payments for the principal of bonds and interest on bonds on time, and in time payments should be made. Thus, the role of the rating of bonds as integrated indicator for the investor is important in the evaluation of yield and prices for the bonds. So, therefore, rating of the bonds is one important thing. We determine the evaluation of the yield और pricing. जो yield को evaluate करती है और prices को determine करती है. The rate of the bond and the yield of the bond are inversely related. The higher the rating, the lower the yield of the bond. The rating of the bond basically is linked with the economic analysis of the bonds market and situation of the economic situation analysis of the bonds market. Therefore, we can say that the rating of the bond and yield of the bond, they are inversely related, and higher the rating, lower the yield of the bond. And bond rating are expressed as letters ranging from AAA, which is the highest grade. And we can say that with the letters A, we can indicate the highest grade of the bonds market, to C, which is junk grade, which is basically lowest grade. And different rating services use the same letter grades, but use various combination of upper and lower case letters to differentiate themselves. And market interest rate analysis. How we can do the market interest rate analysis? It is important for the investor to the bond to understand what causes the changes in the rate of interest in the market in different prices of the in different time periods of the time. How we can say that interest rate is important? We know that it is the price of borrowing, it is price of the lending, or as far as the bond market is concerned, the rate of interest is we can earn on the purchase of the on the sale of the bonds, and we have to pay on the purchase of the bonds, and we can earn the profit in terms of the rate of interest if the rate of interest increases. Therefore we can say that important factors are the quantity supplied and quantity demanded of the bonds, which can be linked with this market interest rate analysis. And we can say when quantity supplied of bonds increases, so definitely the supply curve for the bonds will shift to the right. और जब rate of interest होता है, जब ये और रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट फॉल कर जाता है इस पॉइंट से, और जब सप्लाई जो होती है वो कम होती है, तो रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट जो होता है वो ज़्यादा हो जाता है. तो वी कैन से रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट विल इंक्रीज एंड सप्लाई कब विल शिफ्ट टू दी लेफ्ट, तो ये लेफ्ट की तरफ शिफ्ट हो जाता है. अनदर फैक्टर जो होता है वो डिमांड का फैक्टर है, जिसको हमने कहा है कि क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड ऑफ द बॉन्ड्स फॉर द बॉन्ड्स मार्केट. तो इस केस में जब डिमांड बढ़ती है तो ये कब राइट की तरफ शिफ्ट हो जाता है, तो आई जो है वो बढ़ जाता है. प्राइस ऑफ द परचेज एंड सेल ऑफ द बॉन्ड्स आर इन अदर टर्म्स वी कैन से दैट द प्राइस ऑफ द बोरिंग जो है वो बढ़ जाती है, और जब ये इसकी डिमांड कम होती है तो डिमांड कब लेफ्ट की तरफ शिफ्ट होता है, और जो रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट है और प्राइस ऑफ द बोरिंग द बॉन्ड्स जो है वो फॉल कर जाती है. So this is the market analysis, and it is important for the investors to understand the situation, that what are the factors which brings changes in the interest rate of buying of the bonds and sale of the bonds in different time periods, over different time periods and of different phases of the cycle. For example, we have these different cyclical changes which are, if this is bond market, we can say that these cyclical changes are indicating the situation and analyzing the economic situation in the bonds market, and this shows the behavior of purchase and sale of the different factors which about which we are talking about for in particular market. जब प्राइस बढ़ती है तो what जब साइकिल पॉजिटिव टर्न शो करता है, what are the factors behind, and जब ये पीक पे होता है, what are the factors working behind, जब ये इसमें डाउनफॉल होता है तो क्या फैक्टर्स होते हैं, एंड जब ये मिनिमम पे आता है, लोएस्ट पॉइंट पे आता है, तो क्या सिचुएशन जो होती है उसको ये इंडिकेट करता है. तो वी कैन से व्हाट आर दी फोर्सेस व्हिच ब्रिंग चेंजेस इन द रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट. डेफिनेटली जब इस तरह की सिचुएशन होती है तो रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट जो होता है वो चेंज होता है. तो वी कैन से जब रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट इज एट लो लेवल और इट इज दी बोरिंग की प्राइस जो है वो कम है, तो ये हमारे प्रॉस्पेरस सिचुएशन होती है. जब बोरिंग की प्राइस हाई होती है तो वो जो है वो डिस्पैरिटी को इंडिकेट करती है, डेस्परेशन को इंडिकेट करती है. लेकिन अगर हम लैंडिंग की बात करते हैं और अर्निंग्स ऑन लैंडिंग की बात करते हैं तो डेफिनेटली दैट इज अनदर टाइप ऑफ सिचुएशन दैट वी कैन एनालाइज इन द बॉन्ड मार्केट. तो वी कैन से कि जब प्राइस ऑफ लैंडिंग जो है वो कम होती है तो वो दैट इज़ नॉट गुड सिचुएशन और फॉर द इन्वेस्टर्स और सेलर ऑफ एंड लेंडर ऑफ द फंड्स. और जब इसकी प्राइस बढ़ती है तो इट इज़ गुड सिचुएशन टू इंडिकेट the funds lending. And the understanding of the macroeconomic process and causality of the various economic factors with the interest rate help the investor to forecast the direction of the changes in the interest rate. So we have been analyzing in previous lectures that understanding of macroeconomic process and the course through which the factors of the macroeconomy they fluctuate and they determine the macroeconomy is important to analyze in order to understand the fluctuations in the rate of interest in the in this market, that how this market is observing the fluctuations as far as the price of borrowing and as far as the price of lending is concerned. And then at the end we will come to know the summary of the whole chapter, whole discussion and the whole lecture, that what is the summary of the whole lecture and what we did today. In 2 days we were discussing the qualitative indicators in order to assess the economic situation of the bonds market and the groups of the qualitative indicators, economic fundamentals, performance of the firm and aggressive and conservative policies. And we did that the fundamentals of the economic environment, they basically are is the analysis of the situation as far as the economic position is concerned of the economy and of the markets particularly, and the market position is determined with the help of the size of the firm and the share of the firm in the market, that how much share it has occupied in the market. And management capability is also important to undertake efficient decision for the purchase and sale and for the trade of the bonds in the bonds market. And we can say bonds rating indicate the relationship between the bond yield and the quality of the bonds. And all this when we indicates the economic analysis is too much important. And what is economic analysis? It basically indicates that what are the favorable economic conditions under which we have to invest, and we should, as an investor, we should decide to invest, and what are the unfavorable conditions under which we should avoid to invest. And these can be indicated with the help of the business cycle and with the help of cyclical changes in the business cycle. And then we have the other factors which can determine the predominance of the firm and the market positions. These factors are the supply and demand for any item, for any security or asset. And as far as the bonds market is concerned, we can say that supply of the bonds and demand for the bonds, they determine the prices of the bonds, or in other words we can say that they determine the rate of return and rate of interest for the bonds. And if we have the smaller size firm or the smaller size industry or the market, they can face the problem when the prices are falling, and they can have the benefit or favorable situation when the prices are rising. So this is therefore it is important for the creditor to take the situation and into account and take the situation into consideration. Then we can say that we have two important policies as far as the management capability is concerned. One is the conservative and other one is aggressive policy. And as far as conservative policy is concerned, it indicates that to invest when we have high returns and to avoid the risk basically. However, aggressive policy indicates that the firm can borrow at the time when and can take the risk and have the courage to take the risk. This basically indicates that the investors or the managers they can decide about the situation in order to take the risk and in order to have higher benefit with the help of taking higher risk. And because when they decide to take higher risk, they will be likely to have higher returns out of this. Continuing with the qualitative analysis, we can say that supply demand for the credit is too much important, and the interest rate basically indicate the price of the borrowing and price of the borrowed money. And when the rate of interest increases, the investor should avoid to borrow, and when the rate of interest falls, the investor can borrow to undertake the investment. And we can say that when the supply of the funds increases, the supply curve shifts to the right, and rate of return falls and rate of interest falls. And when the supply of the funds falls, we can say that the curves they shift to the left, and leading the rate of interest to increase, and we can say that the borrowing becomes expensive. And if we continue our discussion as far as the bonds market is concerned, we can say when rate of interest increases, then the purchasing of the bonds become favorable for the investors, and when the rate of interest falls, it is not favorable for the investors, and they should avoid to invest. And this was today's lecture, and I think that you will be able to understand your lecture in the light of the discussion over here during the lecture, and with the help of the slides and the reading material which we have referred. And up till next lecture, take care of yourself. Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum.